Welcome back to the Flashing Badger podcast. Thanks for joining us. This week, myself, Wegs, Fitz, and Mike are going to be playing part 3 of Havoc Brigade by Grant Howitt and published by Rowan, Rook and Descartes Games. Join us!
Flashing Badger, Flashing Badger, alright. Flashing Badger.
Wags, thanks for coming back.
Hello.
I believe you're playing a group of goblins. Tell us about that.
I started as 6. There was a tragic sparkling trebuchet incident, and now I'm down to 3.
Orbital re-entry related accident. Yep.
Yes. The ground was a lot harder than I was expecting. Yes. So.
Fitz, Profanius, the paladin of Bog Al-Karuk.
Praised be his name.
Paladin of Bog Al-Karuk possibly died and was resurrected in the last game by a dead good idea by our Moontooth shaman friend.
Mike, Moontooth, the weird forest shaman. Tell me about him.
He's crazed. He's energetic. He's full of elemental psychic powers that he's unleashing very minorly as he does the other actions.
Excellent. When we last left our group, they were in the garrison district, having just crossed over. Their mission, as it was last week, is to find, abduct, and extract war-related information from Prince Holstein, whose party is happening tomorrow night. They're going to try and take in the distraction and kidnap him for their own nefarious purposes. Between them and the Great Palace is, of course, the garrison district, the big arena, the elven quarter, and a couple of distractions along the way. So let's see what amazing plan they have come up with this time. You find yourself, you've just destroyed almost an entire regiment of soldiers behind you. The crowd are beginning to sort of build up a bit, and there's a bit of suspicion and noise going on. Where are you going to go now? What are you going to do? No, don't all jump at me at once. It's cool.
Well, I for one grow weary of the subtle, sneaky tactics. I think it's time we blunt force our way through the garrison district into the elven quarter. I know the elves don't like fighting in their streets, so if we can make it just into the elven quarter, we should be right to just stroll across the bridge into the Great Palace. So what do you think? Are you with me, boys?
I've got a really cool way that we can upset the elves with our entry.
I thought we were going to the elves to seek sanctuary, but yeah, go. Talk to me.
I know you don't like sneaking, but what if we were to design a giant tree out of wood? So we make a wooden structure tree that we hide inside like a Trojan horse.
Quit horsing around. Damn it, you said horse before.
But we know the elves love trees, and so we present as a tree, and then the door drops, and we can attack them.
Do we want to attack the elves, or do we want to get past them?
Treat myself to a little crumpin along the way.
Crumpin'. I love all of that. Get to smash some elves in the name of Bogal Karok, sorry. That would be great. I do notice that at the end of the Elven Quarter, there is the Cathedral of Solace. Now, being the deeply religious orc that I am, and one of my drives being to spread the word of Bog Al Karok, I feel like that might be a place we'd like to head. I could go there, convert some lost souls.
Burn it down.
Convert some lost souls by beating them to death and making sure that they arrive in the great parsnip field in the sky that is tended to by Bog Al Karok.
He's misunderstood the map.
Yeah.
The Cathedral of Solace is actually the name of the sporting arena where the East Freiburg Solace play.
I saw the.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cathedral of Solace.
I think Mike and I have both misread the map, and for the football district, we both thought it was the football district.
That's why everything here is sporting. So the Cathedral of Solace, which used to be called the Vodafone Dome, they've renamed it.
They moved from the gnomish quarter, east end of the country, and the team got bought and brought over here. So yeah, I like that.
That's nice.
A wealthy out-of-towner bought the team and moved them.
Doesn't care about the history. Either way, I'd like to make our way to the cathedral.
But he also had to change the logo of the team because it was like a really offensive parody of a dwarf. It was like, people were looking at it like, everyone has beards, mate. You can't just do everyone with a beard and a helmet with horns on. We've never even worn helmets with horns on.
And all the old timers are like, but it's our history.
That's right.
It's my heritage.
Is this what you wanted from us when you said to come up with a plan?
Absolutely the best plan.
I love that naturally we are all just orcs who cannot stick to any type of
plan or sensible reason.
Except for that time we opened a bakery.
Can I ask though, which of you is the engineer that's going to be able to actually put this together? Because you've come up with a cunning plan, and it feels like if you suggest it to someone else, you get some bonuses. If someone else is going to implement it, does anyone have that kind of tradesman skill to do that?
Wait, is this to create the giant wooden
tree?
Oh, we're doing it.
Well, it sounds like a good plan. Well, I mean, it sounds like a terrible plan, but it sounds on brand.
Yes.
And this is in aid of killing elves? Yeah, I'm down.
So you're going to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Talk to me about what natural skills you have that allow you to.
Well, natural skills. You want me to talk about my natural skills?
You stole it?
My general driver skill is to prove the ultimate supremacy of Bog Alkarok in everything that I do. Did you not see that I flew recently? That I came back from the dead?
What's the line?
I can do
It's not
anything.
Flying, it's falling with style.
and oh, was it stylish?
All right. I'll allow this.
I'll give it a crack.
Great.
I love
So-
the idea that we'll be like looking like grade 3s in like our
in a
costumes.
play.
In a play, like just with leaves on
I'm a
the
tree. So it's already coming up to evening time, having spent all day at Crafty.
It now approaches evening. Sorry, it's the primary school play.
Yeah, that was his one line.
and then the lights just go down in one go.
Something falls off the front of the stage.
You hear a few sighs from the parents.
All the mobile phones go down. Elizabeth, move off stage. Move off.
The curtain's
That
closed
way.
and there's one kid stuck outside. He's going to make his way back in.
So I'm going to allow this because it sounds like the kind of plan that you should be participating in.
Right.
We're going to skip forward to when the tree is complete and it gets presented at the gates that lead into the Elven Quarter. How is it locomoting? Is there like, can you walk with your feet inside and it rolls along on wheels or something? How are you?
Well,
or do you just lift it up and carry it?
I feel like we
Or you just park it there and wait for them to drag it in?
just knock and then all scurry inside. I feel like this
like
might be
that
one of
one.
those ones where like it's like a horse out, the old horse front and back disguise, but instead of Moontooth would be the back, I would be the front.
Are you
But we don't
saying
have
this
any.
at back and front of a tree?
Yeah, we're not crafts.
You and I have very different understandings of trees. So he's the head and the eyes of the tree. And
No.
you're the tail of
And
the
then
tree.
Wegs' goblins could be like the moving limbs of the tree.
They're the root of the movement.
I mean, I genuinely feel like I'm having an episode because that's not how trees work, Fitz.
You've never seen them uprooted to scatter across the ground.
This is like the helicopter gate all over again.
I'm still not convinced there weren't helicopters in
1997.
1897.
Okay, let's assume that that's how trees work.
Sure. You know what? I'll be in the tree.
We're all meant to be in the tree.
The tree.
Like the famous Trojan horse story where half of them waited outside of the
One
horse.
guy just went in, and then when he got inside, went, surprise!
One was the whole back half of the horse as well. Our Halloween
like that
costume.
It was 50 feet tall, but
These two are wrapped in bark and leaves, and I rock up in the back half of a horse costume going, I misunderstood the assignment, guys.
I think we do the Nick Knocking one.
sure. So while you're standing inside the tree in your back half of a horse costume, Moontooth has run up and just pounded on the gate because there's not like a big security thing. It's just a gate they close at nightfall into the Elven
But I
Quarter.
see the little ring doorbell camera next to the gate. I'm like, ha!
You quickly stick it. You lick one of the leaves and stick it on the front of the camera. Sure. And you knock on and you run back inside. Sure enough, you hear the door creak open. And after a few minutes, you hear the sing-songy, beautiful voices of the Elven speak. Oh, gosh, what a lovely tree.
That's Orlando Bloom.
And from outside, after a short while, you hear the muffled orcish voices like, oh, look, it's a tree. Oh, no, it looks great. They're Welsh.
This is a fight we can win.
Elves Welsh.
I don't know. It wasn't Welsh till I started talking. And for a little while, they're like, oh, it's grand, isn't it? Oh, look at this tree. Norman, look at the tree. Oh, I love it. Norman. And that slowly but surely, the tree starts getting sort of dragged. And you realise that they're dragging it towards a gate that's roughly the size of a human person. So there's a lot of angling and tilting of the tree.
Did they argue why they try and tilt it because they didn't come up with a plan before they actually turned it on its side?
Yeah, and then the best thing is they realise that they can't decide whether to do branch end first or root end first. And as they tilt it up, of course, all of your legs are hanging out the bottom and flailing. But thankfully, there's no one on that end. But eventually, they get it through into the Elven Quarter. They set it up. You don't know where because it's dark inside. And some time passes and it goes quiet. What's the plan now?
I think it's basically nothing too complicated. We get out of the tree and start walking through the Elven Quarter.
We're going to have to. It's starting to smell in here.
Are you
There's half a cow in here.
And the goblins are tickling me.
Like, are you launching out like full attack mode or are you sneaking out? How are you getting out?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, burst out into the pantry.
Like this, just do an empty night.
Into the underground car park cage, the storage cage that we're in.
Yeah,
With a Christmas tree.
We spring out.
Okay.
I think I like the idea of having a goblin on either shoulder.
So you go launching out, absolutely like the door, the hatch flies open and you go launching out. Battle cry as you're screaming. So you go jumping out and you find yourself in the middle of this plaza and the moon is high overhead and there's these, everywhere around you is these like beautiful sort of flowing buildings that look like they're grown and they curve into this beautiful soft rolling ground and there's just fine details everywhere. Some places you can't even tell where the building starts and the next building stops. And it's just absolutely beautiful, lovely nature in harmony. And of course, you've emerged irrationally angry from this tree. And your tree, of course, is almost square. You haven't even got the round part right. It looks nothing like any of these. God knows how it's managed to
fool. It's like a cardboard box with tree written on it.
Yeah. There's no clue how it's managed to fool these elves.
Welcome back to Orc Relationship Help Radio Show. Me host, Spinecracker, Lord of Misery, King of Despair. Me trained human psychologist. Tonight, I, your guide, help happy, harmonious human relationships. First caller, you are on air.
Hi, yeah. Look, my wife gets insecure and jealous sometimes.
Rip off her face and eat it. Next caller.
Yeah, my wife and I have been arguing about finances.
Rip her in half. Throw one half down mine shaft, other half in volcano. Next caller.
You know what? Never mind. Wrong number.
Good call. Wisest thing me hear from human in a long time. Show over. Me eat humans now. Flashing badger.
But you go launching out, and as you do, you hear this like growling sound, and looking up and above one of the tree branches that sort of frames one of the doors, there's this great giant black jaguar looking at you and just starts slowly snarling. You've been very sneaky though, so some of the suspicion dice have gone. That's nice.
When I saw Cougar District on the map, I was thinking of a different area. That's a shame. But I've burst out of the tree and I'm still semi-embarrassed by how I'm acting and angry that I can't rein it back in. And so I just commit to still being violent and aggressive.
What does that look like?
It looks like, yeah! As I'm like making eye contact with the jaguar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, are you attacking the jaguar?
Yeah, let's do it.
No, just maintain the eye contact, I reckon.
Wild
But
beast,
it's
love
one
it.
of those things that
While I attack it.
if I can see the jaguar, then it's not hunting me. You should fear the jaguar you can't see. So all this other time during the game, we could have been
Fantastic.
hunted.
Thanks for that. A second jaguar.
That you don't
As you're
see.
staring at the first jaguar, a second jaguar launches at you from your right-hand side. It's coming, firing at you like a furry missile.
Clever girl.
What's your response here?
I like that.
They're the only words I get out is clever girl. And then I'm using the extension cable of the George Foreman grill, and I managed to get my arms out in time to lock in its
Let's
jaw.
see if you do. Roll some dice for me.
One success.
Okay, well, unfortunately for you, these are intelligent elven predatory big cats. They're famous for it. And the innate elven magic is overpowering them as well. So they've rolled no successes. So what did you get there? 2 successes, was it?
Just the one.
Oh, you managed to, as you say, pin your attacker with the extension cord. Before your colleagues can even turn around, you've got all 4 paws hogtied together on its back like a prize steer. but the first one's still looking at you.
I'm so glad I created a second one just by being a smarty.
Profanius, you or the goblins, what's happening?
I have got this brand new night scope crossbow, which I picked up from our last battle with the garrisons. I light my candled night scope. I raise it up to the panther, jaguar. I said panther, didn't I? It was a jaguar.
Mountain lion.
Mountain lion. Raise it up.
Cougar.
Cougar. All I can think of is onyx. Shoot the one sitting in the branches that's going to immediately attack us.
Okay, roll. What skills
Use
you
my
got there?
night scope bow, and I'm shooting stuff for Bog Al Karak as well. So that'll give me
3 dice. You change your god's name, I reckon, every week. Last week it was called something different for a few goes. You're not that devout, are
I
you?
wrote it in my diary on the first time. It was Borg Al Korok. What's he been
Bog
saying?
Al Karak. That's always been his name.
Praise be his name.
Brian Cranston.
One success.
One success. Well, lucky for you that this one's caught a bit off guard by the other behaviour. This scored 1 success as well. So your specialty guided night vision powered bow shot thunks into the wall next to it. So launches down to ground level.
All right. Thank God I have a fish. Everyone calm down. I have a fish.
The natural enemy of the jaguar.
No, the natural food of the jaguar.
Of course.
So I look. Well, just one of us. Snot, the cleric. Hey, cat breath. I got you a fish. I'll give it to you if you bug off. And I offer the fish.
Bog Al Karak.
Praise be his name.
Let's not profane his name. We might need him very
He's
shortly.
proud watching this.
So I hold out the fish to the jaguar and I'm like, hey, this is yours if you just take it and go.
Sure. Okay. Is that just 2 dice then?
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to add 2 to not die. To not die is one of my drives.
Sure.
So that'll give me an
Not
extra
getting eaten by a jaguar seems like a noble goal. Okay.
So
4
that's
dice.
4. 3 success.
And no success for the jaguar. They're rolling terribly. This jaguar instantly becomes like a tame pussycat. Rolls straight over onto its back and is instantly like, that's a purr. That's the best I can do.
Have you ever had a cat?
You know what purring is, right?
We're patting. And we pat it and it purrs and purrs and purrs and we're like, he really likes it. And then all of a sudden it spins and gives you crazy eyes and bites your ankle and you're like, what?
Oh, thanks for the suggestion. So the jaguar instantly becomes enraged with your displays of affection and feels it's being condescended to and is again on the angry scale. But now its intellect has left it and it's become a feral, biting, clawing beast.
That's what I got for 3 successes.
That's what
This is what all cats do.
It's look, the thing, it hasn't hurt you, and it's definitely not quite the noble predator it was before. Now it's just a ball of teeth and claws.
Quick, now slap it with the fish to reset it.
I'm not sure that'll help.
You even around the corner, this cat fight hissing noise, you can hear a few nearby sentries and you can see the old lights on sticks beginning to light up around you. It looks to me like you've drawn some more attention here. So there's a group of suspicion dice there. I'm a bit worried the new patrol is going to come around the corner. Talk to me about what's going to go on.
I think, so is this cat still here making us whatever?
Yeah, it's
let's get rid of this cat and let's just keep moving forward.
Well, I feel like I've used my fish. It's one of those single-use fish, unfortunately.
Oh, you don't have any more? No, it says fish. No. That doesn't... all over it. It's like if it said
I think
sheep.
that's the plural.
It said a fish.
To argue.
No, that's the type of fish. They have A fish and B fish around these
Elfish
parts.
brother.
And redfish and bluefish.
There's no such thing as a...
Is that a Zeus thing?
Oh, I don't say his name is litigious. We can't
Is he also
afford
deceased?
our legal
that?
budget. Our legal budget's gone well over this episode. We've already picked a fight with Miss Streisand, who sorry again about that.
Do you have
Babs.
anything that a cougar mountain lion...
any of you can do stuff.
Because I'm going to pitch to him and we get more dice out of him.
Yeah, nice. All right. Okay.
Because if you had something that he wants,
How about
you could disguise a dynamite in it and present
This
it.
is a bit too much consultation for me. I think you pitch the plan and he runs it. You don't get to ask preliminary questions.
Here's the
No,
plan I
I'm
pitch you.
saving-
You stick a dynamite in the...
No.
While
I'm
they're
saving the
while they're
dynamite
pitching
when I need
plans,
it.
Yep.
I think I will grab my... Now, I don't know if you recall, but I got a statue of an orc, a very heavy, very gold gold, very large statue of an orc.
Very gold, not just a bit gold, baby.
Very gold. Heavy.
Heavy.
And I think...
You keep coming back to that word. I feel like it might be
and
relevant.
I think that as this wild cat was being a bit purry, being a bit whatever, being a bit exposed, I might take my hidden stuff for Bog Al Karok, my being cruel to animals, or just generally being cruel skill, and hit it with the statue.
Okay.
So that I think will give me 3 die.
And what is there any kind of drive kicking in there as well, just to help you out, or no?
No,
Not
I'll
today.
just go with that.
All right.
3 successes.
Okay. And so absolutely thumps down onto this poor, unsuspecting jaguar.
I actually feel bad now they killed not only the peoples before, just a cat.
Well, it just goes to sleep, just has a nice
We
rest.
discover now it's just a domestic animal on someone's balcony.
It's just
Some old lady comes
was
out,
trying to get back
shaking the tin, going, "Whiskers, whiskers."
This is getting bleak.
just bonk, and the thing just goes to sleep, just has a nice nap. You can hear it snoring and sleeping peacefully. You quickly check its pupils, and there's no sign of traumatic head injury.
You check one pupil and go, it's fine. But then when you check the other, it's like way bigger. You're like,
Oh, just shut that back down.
And it just gets narrow real quick. And
it'll buff out.
So you can hear now though that the clanking of feet and armor coming towards the corner. Okay. So it's clear that a patrol is coming around from the north. What do you want to do? Do you want to? You can
we
try
can
and
hide back in
take
the
off
tree.
and make a run. Or you
I think we take.
Unfortunately, when you smashed out the tree, you smashed the
Yes.
door so hard it came off the hinges.
Yeah, I think we just have to cheese it to the bridge to the Great Palace.
I think.
We reckon. Hoof it.
I reckon we can smash them.
You want more fighting?
Bog Al Karok does not back down. Bog Al Karok smites his enemies with the sacred parsnip of life.
Hearing the massive commotion that he's making.
In the midst of all this, he's now ranting about his god. It's quite loud. But coming running around the corner is this beautiful, tall, statuesque, willowy looking lady in this incredible armor that's all, perfectly sort of formed and fitted. And she's like, "Oh, brigands, it is I, Lady Spear Silence Moon Shadow, former general of the Northern Elven forces, sent here in disgrace to retrieve my family." She's just laying out backstory. She's like, "To redeem my family's name, and I shall strike at thee, horrible heathens."
Jeez, babe, get to the point, will ya?
And she's got this giant, big, curved, long elven sword that's almost as tall as she is. And she does the old hold up, pointy forward over the shoulder, cool looking thing, and starts running at the group of you.
Oh, so she's not here to help us. Oh, okay.
I grab open my little purse full of powder and I sprinkle some into my hand. And with it comes a tiny little plastic fluoro-coloured bright spoon. And I grab some Whiz Fizz. But as I eat it, half of it gets stuck in that stupid little spoon as well. And then when I look in the bag,
gets all
there's
clumpy.
4 other spoons, which means that someone else has a bag of this powder somewhere else and they've got no spoons and it's driving them insane.
This is a very, very local reference. I'd like to point out to people who are not Australian. that
Fizz not global.
This is a small paper bag that you got as a kid with sherbet in it, and it came with a very, very useless plastic spoon that was so deep that stuff just got stuck in it. It's like if you're in England, it's a sherbet fountain, or if you're in America, it's like that.
Sherbet fountain.
In America, it's the stuff that's in those little UFO sweets. Anyway, whatever, it's sherbet. This is not an illicit drug reference. He's not making a clever joke. This is a common children's Australian sweet. So as Moontooth pulls his head out, he's coughing and spluttering sherbet everywhere, but he gets this incredible rush of sugar energy. Incredible magic powder has coated everything, and all of a sudden for you, the world is moving in incredible slow motion. Oh no! But thankfully,
What have you done?
Thankfully, this gives you an incredible amount of time to react to the incoming sword charge from Lady Spear Silence Moonshadow. She's on the run towards you, using your new gift of slow motion. What would you like to do? Needs a bit longer still, I think. Slow this thought down as well.
She's running at me and she's trying to use close combat against me. So my goal is to put her off. So I grabs my Professor Snugglesworth pet Nashhound and I give him another squeeze. And he bares his fangs. And I put him on my head like a hat. And then I shoot my bow at her.
Oh my god!
You genuinely caught me off guard with that.
You can take all of those items that you've just used, and yeah, sure, you can have a bonus. The distraction factor of you putting a small dog on your head, I'm going to say, throws her off her guard. But unfortunately, she is a fierce combatant. So she's coming around the corner. You best.
She's going to need to be a fierce combatant because I have rolled one success.
Oh, this sounds good.
She's just rolled 5 successes.
What?
She's come absolutely charging at you, and you're in slow motion. What you don't know is you thought the world was just moving in slow motion. Actually, your actions are also in slow motion. So you're just midway through putting dog on head at the moment that she gives you a big stab thrust straight through the midsection there.
I like the idea that everything's slowed down for him, so he thinks, I must be going fast. No, you're just going slow.
Yeah, it's just slow. So this giant sword thrust.
Healing sword?
It's unfortunately not the healing kind of sword. It's
Elves
the other
are known
kind.
for their healing.
And this sword cuts straight through your middle of your armor and straight through under your shoulder blade, on your collarbone there, and you collapse down to the ground. And you know what you think? Oh! You think you've just taken 3 wounds in a go. You think you're dying.
Oh no!
You're just sick of me and you're trying to kill me off.
Well, 5 minus 2 is 3. You think you're dying. So you're not out of the game yet. Someone might still save you.
All right. I can't get bogged down trying to heal an injured warlock. I need to just eliminate the threat. And using all of my knowledge of the elven people, I know the one thing that they hate more than anything else, the one thing they truly, deeply fear is tetanus. And I have a rusty saw. Saw.
I thought you say sword. No, didn't go where I expected at all. Right.
No, it's a saw. Presumably, keeping with the theme of us destroying trees, I have a rusty saw. So we 3 surviving goblins, we're going to swarming over. Well, it says swarming over blokes is one of my skills. She's just definitely not a bloke.
Bloke is a universal term that means person that isn't you.
It's like a specific term. So swarming over blokes, 1, and a rusty saw. So I'm going to attack her with 3 dice. 2 success.
She's also rolled 2 successes. So she manages to successfully fend off your saw attack, and she does this big swing to block, ching, and your saw goes whoa, 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 whoa.
And it's so rusty, it snaps and it's just...
That's it. It's gone.
Can't believe
Profanius.
the Brooklyn cleric didn't help me.
I know.
It's in his name.
I thought it's the clue. Profanius.
Profanius.
What are you
I am Bog Alcaroc's hand in this mortal realm. And if there's one thing I don't like about elves, it's their elven gods. I hate them because they're not right. They're not the one true god. The one true god is Bog Alcaroc. So I take my ancient sword of Bog Alcaroc to prove the supremacy of Bog Alcaroc over those inferior elven gods. And before I do so, having a swig of my now blessed wine that I required earlier, I take a giant swipe. And you know what? Right for the face. Because if it's right for the face, that's just, well, you might even say cruel?
Yeah.
Sure. So that would give me hitting stuff, being cruel, proving supremacy, drinking some wine, and ancient sword.
Sounds like a bit of dice farming going on, but sure. Yep.
I got 1 success. Two.
Lucky for you, she only rolled 1 success. So your sword of Bog Alcaroc hits her armor, and despite the beautiful ornamental nature of it, you realize the inherent fragility there, that the armor just shatters around her and falls to the ground, as does she. And she lies there on the ground with the beams of moonlight overhead. She grasps your hand. Let me tell you of the realm of Valhalla, where I was born and raised as a small girl. And when I came here many thousand of your orc years ago, I'm going to keep going
And I
until you
think
do.
it's at that point I take the sacred parsnip of Bog Alcaroc and I beat her the rest of the life out of her, screaming, "The one, praised be his name, praised be his name, praised be his name." And I relish in the bathed moonlight of the elf blood all around me.
Okay, well, that got darker than I expected.
While you're beating a wounded woman to death, my cleric literally steps over her twitching corpse on his way to heal the warlock shaman man.
If you fail and slip, you heal her and you brought back into the beating.
Oh, thank goodness.
Not again. What do I need to do?
You can roll, just like you're rolling an attack or anything, you're doing exactly that, but you're attacking his poor health.
Uh-oh.
That's a success.
Sure, you can take one wound off you. You're no longer dying.
You're
Back in the game. Can I do an action?
What are you, mangled?
Can I heal?
You can even when you're dying, you can still do an action because orcs aren't willing to let death distract them. So if you
Don't
want
get
to
in the
heal,
way of a good fight.
do your healing, you can.
I'd love to.
Just roll me a couple of dice and we'll...
It's +1 for healing.
Sure.
And perhaps I add some mushrooms in.
Yeah, the healing mushrooms, the ones that glow and also make
The very
you
same.
poisoned and heal you.
It tastes like sherbet. Yeah.
And I'm wearing my cloak while I do it. 2 successes.
Excellent.
Yeah, I guess back home, people just know me as a bit of a bad boy, but also like my nieces are my world. That's why I have these tattoos on my lower back.
Wow, that's interesting. I can see why Stacy was attracted to you in our last challenge.
Todd and Amber were expected to be drawn to one another early on, but it's not until now that they were actually seeing the pair sit down and connect.
And all of that could be about to change, though, as our next guest enters the resort. This may create a tension amongst some of the already defined couples.
What? What is that?
I don't believe it. It's Gorlak. Gorlak the Dome Crusher.
Todd, oh my god, wait, don't leave me! No, for the love of God! Mama, I need you, I'm scared!
What am I witnessing? Who signed off on this? This is insane. They're dead. They're all dead. Oh my god. Is he looking at the cameras? Oh god. It's escaped. We've got to get out of here.
The fight is over, and you do find on the ground is a magnificent elven longsword. That's again, it's 3 goblins in length, but it's a beautiful example of craftsmanship.
Luckily, there's 3 of you.
It's true. You could each one of you has to hold the pointy end though, which is not perfectly designed.
I like the idea of them running towards an enemy just all like in a row.
Yeah. Like,
I
battering
actually
ram.
have no...
Does anyone get any room?
I have room.
Okay, I'll
If we've used up an item.
Yeah, if I've used up an item, does that...
no.
Well, I've still got a blank space.
You just get bored of it.
Taylor
But
Swift.
No, so I can't then replace it. No, okay, fair enough.
you also find lying on the ground a small explosive with timer. What would you like to find? What do you think you find on the body of this elven general?
I find a sword, a long elven sword, about the length of 3 goblins.
Relative.
And at the hilt
Yep.
is a timer.
What's the timer do?
It sets off an explosive in the sword.
My God. This is amazing. Sure, you find that, but you also find...
Also, it's magic.
Yep.
And it has a subscription pass to a streaming service in this realm.
It's only going to give you 1 dice, so you can add all you want. You also find in there an orders paper that describes the exact series of Morse code flashes you need to put to the outer wall guards to trigger an artillery barrage.
Ooh.
So I can only pick one of these things.
And the last thing you find is a key, and the key is marked private helipad. The word helipad is crossed out, and it says balloon pad. Because the person writing it suddenly remembered helicopters weren't invented.
I know that guy.
What would you like? Would you like the key to the balloon pad or it's not a word, but the blimp pad, Zeppelin pad, or
Zeppelin Tower?
Zeppelin Tower. Zeppelin Tower key,
A ticket. Ooh. A ticket.
Zeppelin
or
Tower might go.
the old artillery barrage instructions,
Zeppelin Tower could have a stairway.
or the sword, the sword with a compass and a magic and a streaming service.
It's got a Polaroid camera on it as well, and I use that to photograph the Morse code.
So that's what
off
you've
the-
chosen. Great.
Wait. The
Remember,
balloon Zeppelin Zephyr pad thing sounds pretty funny.
Yeah, I like the idea of just setting the artillery. Yeah, but I think that's good. Get that.
Artillery might hurt people though.
Yeah. Oh.
We can't have that.
You're telling me this as I'm beating a woman to death with a parsnip? Sure. Yeah.
I will take the ticket to the Zeppelin.
sure.
It's not a ticket,
It
isn't it?
doesn't matter.
What was it?
It's the Zeppelin. It's the key to the Zeppelin
Key
tower.
for the motor.
You have the Zeppelin tower key. It's a whole bunch of keys. There's all sorts of keys on there. Who knows what'll open?
Oh, awesome! Because I've got 4 uses out of it, so I don't want to do more than just get us to the Zeppelin.
Start the same Zeppelin 4 times. So you've taken a bunch of keys through the Elven Quarter. You've made quite a ruckus. It's a hot place to be at the moment. Significant amount of suspicion in the pool. I do want to remind you all, you have the Mayhem ability where you can use all of these dice to your own ends. Otherwise, they're going to start being used by me against you, I would say, when you fight the next baddie. Anyway, you make your way past or towards the front plaza of the Cathedral of Solace. I think Profanius has a personal beef with these people.
Yes, I do. I know that these... I can't stand these heretical gods that don't follow the one true god of Bog al-Korok. Praise be his name. So, I think we might pop our heads in there.
Sure.
Given that we're very, very close to the Great Palace, maybe we just explode the cathedral from the outside?
I like that idea. If anything, it might also be a distraction.
Distract the
there we
guards.
go. Okay. So there's obviously the palace guards, the elite royal guard are standing at the bridge that goes across to the Great Palace. And we'll make a distraction before you go. You're welcome to do that.
I think that we might. Now, Wegs, did you say you have some sort of explosive?
Well, shucks, I have a suspicious quantity of dynamite. Plus, if I use my skill for creating a distraction, that's 3 dice already. Okay, you're right.
That's all right. I think we just blow up a church.
I think we just blow up the church. Look,
Hang on.
God wants us to blow up this
Hang
church.
on. My cunning plan for you is to blow up this church.
All right, and so that's one more
Yes.
dice. So that's 4 dice.
Okay.
What do you reckon?
Sounds like a lot of maths for 4 dice, but sure.
We got there in the end. 1, 2 success. That's another success. So 3 successes.
Okay, and they've rolled 1 success against you, so they've taken. So the 2 guards on the bridge, and these are like in the beautiful polished armor, and they've got the lovely long capes and everything, and one of them's leaning against the side of the gate, and he's talking to one of the sort of serving girls who's going, and he's like, yeah, well, I wasn't always a guard. For a long time I was fighting overseas. You probably haven't heard of it, in a little place called the Northern Frontier. And she's like, oh my gosh, was it amazing? He's like, well, let me tell you a few things. You once you see an orc, you just want to kill them all because they're she's like, oh my god. he just sees one of you scampering away from the doors of the church before whoom, and it goes up in flames, and he quickly sweeps her to the side, pushes her off the edge of the bridge into the water, and goes flat running towards the church. But you can tell he's got a bit of panic in his eyes. He's clearly a bit nervous about it. He's got this big hooked halberd that he sort of unslings from his back as he's running. And a couple of them are making their way over now. Now that they're all running towards that way, where are you guys going to get in? So it's a bit of an island there with a little bridge going to it.
So are they running away from the entrance to the bridge?
Yeah, the ones outside are running across the bridge towards the cathedral now.
And I think that we can just then run into.
Just going to wait for the path and slip in?
We gave ourselves enough time after blowing up the church. I don't think we bothered to check if there was anyone inside because Bog Al-Karok doesn't care about that.
Oh, no.
Not about these stupid humies.
You make your way, you open the sort of the servants' entrance, the little side hatch into the palace there, and you make your way in, and there's it's like a building like you've never seen. There's massive columns that reach up to seemingly to the heavens, and there's a roof that's dozens of stories above you. There's these marble floors, and there's this beautiful tapestries hanging down the side, and there's these big, ornate, actual tapestries telling the story on the wall there. And there's servants everywhere. And you kind of, because you've snuck in the door and the party's in full swing, you're kind of not noticed straight away when you get in. But there are people everywhere. And there's this astonishing, fashion that you've never seen before. So these people are in, giant hats and big shoulder pads and fabrics that you've never seen. It's astonishing to you to have a look at. And for a moment, you're taken aback. And then you kind of make out down lining the corridors of the Great Hall, here are these statues of kings, all of which have really unlikely physiques. They're all just absolutely ripped and jacked, and they're looking at the future horizons very bravely and serenely. There's ice sculptures. There's a little table near the front with gift bags in. There's these servants clad in black going everywhere with trays of things that you assume are food, but you've never seen the type before. And it is this like string quartet. There's 4 different string quartets in each corner of the room, and they're all like competing. Each one gets a bit louder all the time to try and drown out the others. And up the very front in the distance, you can see there's a big like plinth with, a couple of thrones on it, and you can see this guy there with this, like long foppish Prince Charming hair, and he's got one leg hooked over the arm of the throne as he's sat in it, and you can just see him talking, doing waving his arms at people and just looking like a spoilt little brat. A bit closer, like halfway down the room, you can see that there's royal guards scattered everywhere. Leading them is the very famous Captain Goldflash, an actual veteran of the North Frontier, he's like a medium tier Hemsworth. He's got like really good hair and good teeth and muscles. He's not like as handsome as the prince is, but he's like pretty good. And he's just
Mini boss.
You can just see him sort of walking around, pointing out and making the movements of guards go around. And for you, there's the charge straight down the middle towards the Great Throne, or there are a few little side doors that lead off onto enclaves and things that you're not quite sure where they go at the moment.
I have an idea. I can create a distraction. I still have in my equipment cache a large coat and a dented top hat, so I can fit right into this party. Also, I've still got those credentials that we scavenged before, so I'm basically a guest of honor. 3 goblins in a top hat and a coat.
Trench coat, yep.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah. I'm pretty much the guest of honor.
And so this is obviously going to get you in and get you anywhere you want. What's the actual distraction going to be? Is it going to be as simple as, toppling some of the ice sculptures, or are you going to...
I think I might actually do an impromptu speech, maybe at the other end of the room, so everyone looks away from the prince. I'll ding, ding, ding. I'll get the glass and get everyone's attention, and I'll make up a speech on the fly, and then you two can swoop in and...
Most excellent. I tell you what, I'll get you to roll some dice for me, then I want to hear the speech.
I can't wait to heal him, and I want to hear the backstory of how you bump into a Gretchen that is here already. Here he is.
Can you roll
on
some
the
dice?
way. Okay. So I've got start with 1, 2 for create distraction, 3, 4, 5 for equipment. So 5. 2 success. Does anyone else think that's a really good plan? That they want like a dead good plan? They want.
Can we do that before you roll?
Yeah, they've rolled 2 successes as well, the guards. So
I think
at the moment, your distraction's not doing much.
I think it's a dead good plan. I reckon you should do it again. Dead good in the eyes of Bog Alcorok.
Well shot. In that case, I've earned no more success.
I'm starting to think my god has left me.
Yeah.
So you're doing this speech, and people are looking that way and everything, but it really hasn't diminished the ranks of the guards at all. The general party goers are looking and listening to your speech. And give me a brief preview of what your speech sounds like.
Yeah, listen up, you pack of losers. We're all here for the prince. Prince Charming, am I right? More like a Prince Jerkface. Yeah, get a load of the gangly douche up on the throne. Anyway, you've been great.
Doing a bit of crowd work. You're like, look at this guy in the front, like, nice hat, buddy.
What are you doing for work?
Where you been? You've been great district, am I right?
Who's next to you? This is your partner?
Yeah.
Where you from? Oh, Gnomish quarter. You know Gnomish? Yeah, you barely know me. And the speech is so bad that everyone is starting to turn back.
Yeah.
No, the old, where you from? Tin Street. What? Tin Street. No, sorry? Tin Street. No, I'm just sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard you. I'm just sorry.
Welcome back to Orc Technology Today. Today, we have exciting news. We is intervented speaking to the Hume that invented internets. Hume, what is internets?
Well, it's just the internet, but that's...
Why you only make one?
I'm sorry, you misunderstood.
No, is not miss. I is news bosser, ball crusher, stump face.
I'm terribly sorry. The internet is a tool for sharing information.
Like what?
Well, you could share writing, or plans, or videos, or pictures of anything.
What about a picture of a dog?
Yes.
What about writing about a dog?
Yes.
What about a video of an orc being defeated in battle?
Yes.
Yes!
This filthy human thinks he can defeat an orc. Get me my chopper. I smash him. Come back next time when we speak to the Humie what invented topographic 3D mapping.
Flashing badger.
So the general guests are distracted, but yeah, the guards aren't really. They're pretty focused. They're locked into their work.
I'm looking forward to a Brooklyn Cleric spin-off series.
So meanwhile, Moontooth and Profanius, what are you guys? He's up there, or they're up there. What are you guys doing?
Moontooth pulls out his set of janitor keys off his belt.
Yep.
And lifts a rug out of the way, and there's a trap door with a key.
Sure
and
is.
I put the key in and I twist and nothing happens. I go, and I spin around the little wheel of keyring I have and I jam the second one in and twist and it opens.
Yep. And it's lucky because there's 75 keys on there.
Yes.
So it's amazing.
And I'm giggling as I go, and then I sort of from the powder that's on my face. And every time I sneeze, all the lights in the room just go out and come back on. And people are looking around like, what's doing that? What's doing that? And I scurry into the underground, into this trapdoor. You have no idea where I am now.
It's true. Nobody does. It's like he's hiding. All right.
Who knows where I might come out?
Is it 6 feet from where you went in?
It's an empty room. Just that's all it is. Got to come back out the same way.
I come out with bottles of wine. Yeah, I'm out for now. You can't see me.
Yeah, hidden. I'll let that go. I don't think it's not having any impact on the guards at the moment, so I'll just let it run. Profanius, are you just waiting to see what happens here, or are you going to launch into something?
Now, this has given me an idea. His sneezes, his a chewing and a chewing with the lights all going down. Your attempted distraction, which failed miserably. Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? Bog Al Karok, to spread the word here of his supremacy on this planet, a dark miracle would come into play. A dark miracle. And I sit here and I grab the ancient sacred parsnip and I hold aloft my ancient sword and I scream out, Dark Lord Bog Al Karok, please show your might and worth here, create the miracle, smite these heathens, create darkness in this room.
Prince Holstein's like, worst gift ever.
There you go. So these are the suspicion dice. So I'll just get you to roll those.
Now, can I just
So he's using the bonus dice?
He's using his mayhem ability, to summon a dark miracle. Unless there's something else he should have.
5 successes. And hang on, I think that because I was using my sacred parsnip to help me out.
Sure.
Another one. And to prove the supremacy of
Absolutely.
Bog Al Karok.
Yeah, so that's another 3 dice.
1 more success.
Okay, so 6 successes total. All right, so talk to me about what has happened.
So the room has gone completely dark. Every semblance of light, anything that even reflected.
So this is like clouds of black smoke are
black
roiling
smoke.
out of your ears.
They're coming out,
Just
they're spreading
billowing
from
down.
my parsnip. They're spreading around the room. Directly out the sacred parsnip end. As I'm swirling it around, all the candles have gone, all the chandeliers have gone, all the light has gone. The smoke has filled the moonlight to block it from the windows as well. There is nothing but pitch black darkness.
So the screaming starts of party guests and the pushing and shoving, and just in the dim half light you can see that like some lady gets pushed into the ice sculpture which tilts over, and another guy just picks up like handfuls of food and starts filling his pockets with it, and it's like trifle, so it's not even traveling well. And people are just running everywhere and screaming, and you see in the sort of the look of this, you can see a handful of the guards near the gate just kind of look at each other and just sidle slowly back out the front door. It's like clear that they want no part of this, and they take off. So you've already diminished the ranks in the room quite a bit. It's utter bedlam in there now.
Excellent. And because of that's happened, anyone who wasn't in this room and might be somewhere else could possibly have free reign and vision to do something else.
Let's hear of Moontooth. Let's see what he's doing.
Moontooth, suddenly you hear the burst of the hatch from behind Prince Holstein up on the main stage of the throne. Opens and Moontooth is standing behind him, and he's still in a casual pose for some reason with one leg draped over.
He hasn't moved. He's just
Someone get the lights.
He's absolutely sourced. This is an very odd introduction to my party.
And I sweep my Thunder Bear cloak across him and across me, and as I do it, we both disappear from view.
Would you say you're channeling the beast within?
Yes.
So this is an abduction in plain view. Well, very limited view of the people in the room, but
It is. And so I'm using my Thunderbear cloak and I'm being spooky while I do it. So I'm going to grab those as well.
Go for it.
Would you describe him as a rare animal that I'm...
There's only one of him. He's the rarest. There's
Not that many
Yes. All right, it's in.
I'll give you that one.
I have 4 out of about 10. That's so
terrible
rude.
roll.
Does anyone think that was a dead good plan?
That was a dead good idea.
Excellent. Because I'm re-rolling 8 dice now. Which gets
that's
me
better.
another
Oh, no, it's not.
3.
You sweep the cape across in front of the prince, and in the process, you sort of grab him and do the "I'm Batman," right? I'm Muntuf. Where is? Can we trust him? And just as you sweep him into you see old Captain Goldflash up the front, who has been this picture of stoicism throughout this whole thing. You just see him absolutely go to water when he sees this giant. To his eyes, the lights go out and this giant bear just comes and sweeps up the prince and then instantly disappears into the blackness, and he just utterly drops it, and just you see the little trickle of wee out of his leg and bolts. The whole time he's thinking, because all he can hear is he's thinking, my God, a bear took that fair maiden. What hope do I have? And he's fled. He's thought, well, I've got no chance here. So he's legged it out the room behind his royal guard, utterly morale broken and spent. And you've got the prince in hand. You've got the key. What's the cloak around him? You've got a bunch of keys. Where are you going now?
Well, you think that I'm just going to suddenly disappear and everything's better, but instead you start to see the smoke move from view, and I'm just running down the aisle with him. This way.
Just sort of, it's this awkward stuff. It's like a 3-legged race where it's just this stumbling and tripping over each other.
And we're going up the aisle, bumping into people. I'm like, excuse me, sorry. And then I reach one hand into the wishing well where people have donated money in cards and envelopes to him, and I'm helping myself to some of that.
Excellent. All right. So most of the guards have fled now. I'd say it's probably time to beat your hasty retreat.
We look
can
in a
take me
panic.
back and I'll do
I like
it.
the idea. We look in panic and spin around, and there's a gold plate on the wall, a stone wall, and it's got a picture of a balloon with an arrow pointing up the stairs. I'm like, I know where to go.
Perfect.
So you're running towards the door, and obviously there's the great gates in front of you where you came in that lead back out the bridge, and there's that stairwell that leads up down to the servants' quarters and up and up and up to the spire. Where are you going from here?
I want the height. I want to head to the spire.
Yeah, let's do it.
I see him run past me with the prince, and I'm following him.
I am still in the room, still making a speech, still desperately trying to get the crowd on side.
Hey, what's with all this darkness? Hey.
And again, it's one of those frustrating Hollywood moments where I'm abducting someone, but they're clearly just running of their own free will with me. And you're
You've
like,
got,
wouldn't
an
he just
arm around
play
his shoulders.
dead and make it hard to drag him? But no, he's running alongside me. I'm like, yeah, go this way.
But to be fair, Prince Holstein, I think, is like, thank you for saving me. The dark was so frightening. I didn't like it in there. Everyone was yelling at me. It's so nice to be going.
Hey, you're
Where are we
safe now.
going?
Come on, big boy. You'll be all right.
So he hasn't even noticed at this point that you're a foul, misshapen beast.
He thinks it's his security detail huddling him to Air Force One on the roof.
Thank you,
Mr.
Captain
President,
Goldstein.
sit down.
I've always liked you, Goldstein.
That's right. Captain Goldflash, I do love your outfit for the party. You're such a magnificent man. You've always been one of my personal heroes.
Your body odor, maybe work on that. But apart from that,
All right, so you run him up the stairs, and sure enough, your ring of keys, key 62 of 75, is the one that opens the door. And sure enough, there's a giant blimp parked there.
Yay!
How are you going for blimp piloting, the three of you?
As I look at my skill sheet, it may feature.
if it's in the name of Bog Al Karok, I reckon I'll be fine.
I think I'd like Fitz to roll.
Oh. Because I've been so bad at it all
See
night.
if your god has favoured you, Fitz. No,
So how
he's
many
just-
am I rolling?
He's just rolling me one dice.
Oh,
No, roll 17, Fitz.
damn it. I've run out of everything that I could possibly use. It's a 3.
I have remaining in my possession a book with some, i.e. most, pages missing, and a magic wand with 1 charge remaining.
Is that a book about Zeppelin piloting?
It's about to be when I use the magic wand on it.
Sure. Roll me 3 dice.
I have 3 successes.
No, that he legit did.
So I think the 3 goblins go up, and then one of them's on the throttle, and one of them's on the steering, and the other one's untying the things as you shuffle the prince on board. There's obviously in the castle, none of the ballistas or anything know that the airship's going. It's in the dead of night. Sure enough, your airship trundles back across the border through the northern wastes before it gets brought down just near the border of orc territory by a squad of devoted goblin archers. As you come to rest and they realise you're from the exalted Havoc Brigades, they walk you back to Skull Smasher's encampment, where he meets. The gates, the fabric parts as you walk into his tent, and he's like, well, if it isn't... He leans to like an advisor who whispers, and he's like, Prince Holstein. And he's like, Holstein? He's like, oh yeah, Holstein, my nemesis. He's like, I'm terribly sorry, I don't know who you are. He's like, it's me, Skull Smasher. He's like, well, I don't believe we've had the pleasure. Shut it! And instantly the torturers come in, and they take your suggestions of the, I think it was the incredible politeness was one, and then the tongue removal, and then the comedic roasting, which may or may not have been misunderstood for literal roasting.
Laughing while we cook him.
Yeah, and unfortunately they do all this at once, so I'm not convinced they get the details of the war plans out of him. But on the plus side, you have succeeded in your mission.
Yay!
Of kidnapping the prince, who seems like quite an affable fellow, actually. He's probably quite hard done by this. But during the course of that, you managed to burn down a church that wasn't threatening you, to rob a dwarven catapult trebuchet salesman, sparkling trebuchet.
And kill him.
And kill him. Turn him into liquid. You managed to kill an entire brigade of semi-elite infantry.
The last male and female jaguar in the breeding program.
Yeah, I was about to say you destroyed the elven quarter, including a 1,000-year-old general who clearly had an interesting and detailed backstory that you skipped. Yeah, you really made an absolute mess of everything, I think. So thank you. That was good.
When we came back into the tent, what was our war boss's name?
Skull Smasher.
Skull Smasher. Could we have interrupted, like, as we come straight in, he's sitting opposite Barbara Streisand as they're ironing out their differences. And he's like, I appreciate you've travelled some distance to repair the friendship. I can see the misunderstanding now.
Babs is like, fine, Skull Smasher, this is all you... I don't know why she's got an orc voice. Fine, Skull Smasher, that's all you had to say. I'll call the lawyers up. I'm glad that Babs has seen redemption as well in the eyes of the orc hordes. It's nice.
Season 2 is her and Brooklyn Cleric as they get an apartment in town.
Yeah, that's it. They get the house on.
Roommates. Let's find out.
And they Profanius lives next door. And every time they're doing anything, Profanius just like bursts in. And he's like, "Hello, does anyone recognise that this bowl of cereal looks like the face of Bog Al Karuk?" He's like the anti-Fonz. He's the guest character that no one wants.
The neighbour that they have to keep avoiding.
Thank you for playing Havoc Brigade. I think you all did reasonably well. Wegs, is there a favourite moment across the episode you'd like to talk about?
Landing the trebuchet idea that set us off course by half the distance of the city.
Again.
But at least we got to kill the nice dwarf who was trying to help us.
It's true. It's true. He was nice. Fitz?
Yeah, I did like the idea of the very elegant and regal and ancient elven queen, or general, sorry, who was trying to tell us and be nothing but kind, and in the end her reaching out to maybe impart some long lost wisdom was met with a rather vulgar
turnip bashing,
parsnip beating.
Yep. And Mike?
I like the way that you punished my knowledge of jaguars and the fear the jaguar that you can't see by saying, fine, there's a second one.
I think it's an important lesson that smart arsery will not be tolerated. And if you want to make trouble for yourself, I'm happy to oblige.
We had double the beasts we had to fight.
And then I convinced it to be nice and go away with a fish, and it just turned on us.
And the jaguar, which he turned rabid by just suggesting that a fish was...
No, patting the jaguar
that's right.
would turn it feral and wild.
No, the patting was working, but bear in mind that all cats will turn on you after too much patting.
Yep, I'm glad you brought that to my attention. You thought you were winning a point on me by my lack of knowledge of cats, but instead you were walking into your own doom.
I did like outside the story, just one thing I did like as well as outside the meta universe of the story was Gordo's attempts at purring like a cat.
I've got no idea how to make that noise. I realised suddenly that I don't have the mouth anatomy to do whatever that noise is. I can do a passable Chewbacca. You have been listening to us playing Havoc Brigade, designed by Grant Howitt and made by Rowan Rook and Descartes Games. We're going to chuck a link for you in the description. Do check it out. It's ridiculous and fun and just complete lunacy. So thank you very much for listening. Please do leave us a review on your podcast service of your choice. That is a great way to help us out. And we like to read out our favourite in-universe reviews. They're the ones we like best, so please give us some of those. Obviously, tell anyone who might want to listen about the podcast.
And then tell them about our amazing Patreon. For only $1 a month, you get to come be a part of the podcast and painting channel perks and exclusives. Gordon sets us homework every week where we have to design commercials and in-universe adventures. You can see the filming of those table reads along with the bloopers and get a sneak peek of what is on the way next. And, of course, there's painting channel perks. I'm Mike. I have a painting channel where I put together little action dollies in bright colours. And you can come be a part of our Discord. Everyone hangs out with us in our Discord. It is thriving. There's hundreds of us in there. We have painting competitions. We have podcast polls. You can shape the narrative of what's to come in our adventures. So come be a part of it. There'll be a link to that in the description below.
Sure. And coming up next time, we're going to have a brand new RPG, which we haven't even decided on yet. So it's going to be something very exciting for all of us. Please tune in to find out what it is. Fitz, thank you for being here.
It was my absolute pleasure. In his name, Bog Al Kara.
Wegs, thank you.
Thank you on behalf of my 3 surviving friends, one of whom shared a name with the deceased.
Better than they deserve.
Yeah, true. Yeah, quite frankly. Yeah.
Mike, thank you.
Fear the jaguar you can't see. Thank you. I've had a great time.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone. I've been Gordon. They've been Mike, Fitz, and Wegs. Thank you.
Flashing badger, flashing badger, alright. Flashing badger.